Apparently, there's been yet another lemonade stand crackdown, and I don't know where this is coming from, Mark, but you've got the story.
Pinellas County?
Florida.
Yep.
All right. I mean, that's a place where having lemonade is a pretty good thing. It gets hot down there.
Indeed. Well, it turns out that now this isn't about the story of the kid as much as it's about the follow-up to the story of the kid, because we've done this story so many times on Free Talk Live.
It's been a while, though, since we've had one.
All right. Do you want me to go find a recap of that story? Because I didn't do that. I have a story about what happened sort of with the guy. Let me read.
I'm just saying it's been a while since we've had a lemonade story on the show.
All right. This is from theblaze.com here. In the week since Guerrero's story went viral, this is the kid who is serving lemonade on a neighbor's yard.
And they shut him down?
Yep. Right. This is he's 12 years old. He's faced years of official complaints from a crotchety neighbor bent on shutting down the boy's lemonade stand. So
years of complaints.
That's what it says. Remember TJ Guerrero, the 12-year-old entrepreneur who has faced years of official complaints from a crotchety neighbor, been shut down on bent on shutting down his lemonade stand? Well, in the last week, Guerrero's story went viral. The preteen's business has boomed because of the story, I assume. The Tampa Bay Times reported while the crotchety neighbor, 61-year-old Doug Wilkie. What's that?
Well, we know a crotchety guy named
Doug.
Okay.
In New Hampshire.
He's facing an ironic legal trouble. It seems that Wilkie was trying to get PJ's illegal business shut down. At the same time, he was running his own unlicensed business out of his house. Wilkie had listed...
He's a pimp.
What's that?
No, I'm just guessing. What kind of business was he running?
It's just, I don't know.
I got all excited there for a second. I thought you were really going to tell me the guy was a pimp.
No. I don't know precisely what he does, but it's called Bayport Financial Services. It sounds like he might be like a financial advisor or something like that.
Got it.
Which is certainly something that somebody could do from their home. But
not in Pinellas, apparently.
Not in Dunedin. Wilkie had listed his Dunedin, Florida home address as the principal business address for Bayport Financial Services. A tipster told city officials Wilkie was apparently skipping out on a $45 a year business license tax and other paperwork. And Dunedin's planning director, Greg Rice, told the Times that Wilkie could start facing a $250 a day fine if he doesn't come into compliance. The irony is Wilkie's not following the rules either, or doesn't seem to be, Rice said. Wilkie has tried to stay out of the spotlight as the local story reached the national stage, ordering reporters off of his property on Thursday, the Times noted.
Get off my land!
He's 61. He's not that old. I mean,
so just to clarify, though, the kid in the case, the kid with the lemonade stand, he's okay.
Yeah, it sounds like you said he's continuing to operate, right? So he hasn't been shut down.
Right. At this point, the authorities have figured out that going after kids in lemonade stands is a problem. Now, I think this is really kind of interesting because, okay, so I have a friend who runs a very successful business, and his wife is Asian. Now, she is the nominal head of the business and therefore gets whatever benefits one gets as being a minority business. That's sort of the reason it was set up that way. Now, one can run a business with a titular head, right? Without that titular head really being in charge.
Sure.
So let's say you have a reasonably good location for a lemonade stand or whatever kind of business that would be appropriate for a kid to open, and you just stay open for the lemonade. And sell lemonade or ice cream or whatever it is from your front yard. And you got your kid around. We're just watching it for our kid. Like, where does it sort of stop and end?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. What if they were to instead of having the 12-year-old go out there, what if you put a 20-year-old out operating the stand? Then,
Indeed, that's going to be a big problem.
What would happen?
Well, we did Lemonade Freedom Day in Philadelphia just last year, and this was the police came and
was that Jim Babb's
us.
Kids who came out for that?
I think Jim Babb was out there,
so
Mike Salvi, Josie Wales. Yeah, there were definitely kids there. I didn't get too well acquainted with the children, but we got the children away when the police showed up because we feared for their safety. And we told the police that. and they came after us. Now this was in some park in Philadelphia that's almost I believe it's similar to like Zuccotti Park in Manhattan.
So it's privately owned?
It's private public weirdness, one of those things. And they told us, that we needed a permit to sell there, and there were other vendors there with permits, including a licensed lemonade vendor. And we were like, well, I don't think we're going to get a permit. And if you want to come and use violence against us with our cameras running, then we're happy to bullhorn that to all these people here. And there's a pretty popular video about it, but they still will go run around and shut down kids' lemonade stands.
So do they back down?
You guys, they back down, yeah, but I mean, they threatened us first.
Sure.
You want to do this the easy way or the hard way? And we're like, yeah, I think that
we're really not here to do this the easy way.
Yeah, it's not really our MO, the easy way. Our way is, filming you and bullhorning it, and we got on the bullhorns. We're like, the police are threatening a children's lemonade stand. We had to get the children away because we feared for their safety. Right. How do you feel living in a world where you have to hide the children from the police? And
awesome.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I missed that one. That sounds like it'd be a good video.
They didn't do so well there, huh?
All right. So what else, Mark?
Yeah, that's the story.
So this dude, the grumpy neighbor, the 61-year-old guy who complained about this young man, and purportedly over a period of years, according to the article,
That's what this says here. I mean, I haven't...
I've never seen the original story, so I don't know.
I've seen
what has happened, what has transpired to this point. I'm presuming, I'm filling in the blanks, presuming it's gone like most of the other ones, where a young man or lady has been selling lemonade, somebody complains, the cops come, threaten, and get it shut down. But in this case, it sounds different in that he hasn't shut down. So maybe the cops never came to threaten him, in which case, how did this make news in the first place? That's what I'd like to know.
Everything that I've seen about this kid shows that he is a real entrepreneur as far as it goes. Like he's dedicated. He's not some kid out there who says, you know what I'll do? I'll take out my little plastic table and bring out some watered down Kool-Aid and play lemonade stand.
Yeah.
I stop off every time I see one of these kids serving watered down Kool-Aid and Dixie cups.
Why would someone serve Kool-Aid instead of lemonade at a lemonade stand? That sounds like fraud.
What are you talking about, Ian? I'm just talking about people who do stands.
Yeah, you're talking about somebody who does a crappy job. I'd be really disappointed if I got Kool-Aid instead of lemonade.
But I mean, if they're advertising, Kool-Aid, but like lemonade stand has become the colloquial term for, hey, I'm a child and I'm selling cold beverages on the
Cookies.
side of the highway.
I stopped by and got some lemonade from a stand in the neighborhood once, and it was very good.
Like I once wrote an article about lemonade stands getting shut down, and I went looking for things, and I wrote about Girl Scout cookies and all manner of lunacy that these people were going after.
That's true. Yeah, they have targeted the Girl Scouts as well.
Okay,
Boy
so
Scouts popcorn and.
I've looked it up. In business, business is all about location, 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 and even 12-year-old TJ Guerrero knows that since Guerrero.
Where is this coming from?
This is from CNN. Since 2013, he's been manning a lemonade stand at the corner of Patricia Avenue and San Salvador Drive in Dunedin, Florida, about 25 miles west of Tampa. He lives a few houses down the street from the junction, but got permission from the owners of the corner house to set up shop with his homemade sign at the higher traffic area during summer breaks and after school during the school year. But another neighbor in the neighborhood has been trying to put a squeeze on the kid's sweet operation.
Do they name him in this article?
I don't know.
We'll find out here in moments.
We know what his name is now.
I want to know more because, if somebody found out who he was and then they doxed him, basically.
They doxed him.
More coming up here in moments. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. Do you think lemonade stands should be shut down? Really? Cracking down on lemonade stands. Although in the case of Florida, where we're talking about Pinellas, apparently, or Dunedin.
Dunedin,
is that Pinellas County?
It is Pinellas County, yes.
So in Florida, and that's the Tampa area, a young man, he's, 12, was it?
Yep.
13, something like that?
12.
He's been doing this for over a year, so he started when he was 11, I would guess. Started up doing his own lemonade stand, and some grumpy neighbor complained about it, apparently made a series of complaints. We're actually getting the background on the story, because what we found out first was sort of the update, and that was that this particular neighbor, turns out he's running his own home-based business. So he's a hypocrite. as well as a snitch. We'll get into the rest of that story. Your calls are welcome, especially if you think lemonade stands need to be stopped. I want to hear from you at 855-450-FREE. Someone out there is obviously upset by these lemonade stands, like the grumpy neighbor who refuses to talk to the press. Mark, continue the story here from, what was the source?
This was CNN.
CNN out of Tampa Bay and Pinellas. So you're kind of giving us some of the background on this story now, because what we found out in the beginning of the show tonight was that there's a 61-year-old neighbor, Doug, who's been complaining there about this young man selling lemonade, presumably right from the front yard of his parents' house.
No, from the front yard of a neighbor's house.
Thank you for that.
House.
Who has given permission. The neighbor has given permission for this young man to be there.
He lives a few houses down the street, and the neighbor has the more lucrative lemonade spot.
It's all about the location, right?
Yeah.
So,
and he's been doing this, interestingly, for more than a year.
That's amazing dedication. So let's get back to the story.
Dunedin City manager Rob Spirito told CNN that the first complaint was lodged by a 61-year-old Doug Wilkie in 2013.
Okay.
At least 4 emails to the city since then. Wilkie complained the Guerrero stand caused excessive traffic, noise, and affected the property value of his home, which is next door to where the stand is set up. If this were a once-a-year event by a couple of kids to earn a little money for a holiday or something, I'd not have a problem with it, Wilkie wrote. I'm very worried about the value of my home, which is why I built in a residential area, not in a business area.
Maybe some people value having a lemonade stand nearby. Perhaps the value would actually increase depending on who you asked.
It looks scenic, right? Like there's a kid with a lemonade stand, handmade lemonade sign. You know, I mean, Norman Rockwell made it look good.
I think he's probably just upset that it's bringing down his property taxes. You know, he probably wants to pay more in taxes, and he's really upset.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.